Today I have a GE radio. This is the one in the lot of 3 radios I got for 15 bucks each. This is one of them. I already fixed the Philco, so this is the next one. The buttons are in good shape. A lot of these, the plastic rots away, and then you are left with just metal shafts sticking out. Plastic seems in good shape. The dial strings both work. I did plug it in and turn it on. It makes a loud, really loud hum. The filter capacitors are gone. And it probably will work once I get some capacitors changed in it. It's actually a GE radio, but it was built by RCA. This is unmistakably an RCA chassis. It uses typical late 30s tubes. It's a 7-tube radio with a tuning eye. With the tuning eye here. The bracket fell off for the tuning eye. There's only one screw holding it in when I got it, and it fell out. It goes right up like this. Right up there. Have to get some screws. The chassis is only held in with a single screw because somebody has been in here before. We can just get that out. The speaker, it's okay. It's just really dirty and got a bit of rust on it in some spots. But the speaker works because when I plugged it in, I was getting the hum. Unplug it. Stuff wires up through the hole. I don't understand why they didn't make this thinner. They could have cut like 3 inches off this thing. Why didn't they make it thinner? They totally could have. Okay, now the knobs come off. They just pull right off. The metal insert pulled out of the knob. That happens. You can see this has had a lot of use. Look at the way the finish is worn off around the knobs where people go like this. So it's obviously not meant. Okay. And the buttons have to come off too. They don't fit through the holes like they should. I'm going to just line them up in order so I put them back right. You know? There we go. I have actually a very similar radio with the same chassis, but it has an RCA dial on it and a totally different styled cabinet. Let's just pull this puppy right out. And, ooh. There we go. Let's just pull this puppy right out and get a look at it. Okay, here's the top. It's got some more rust than I would have expected for something where the cabinet's in good shape. It's got some rust on this, some rust on here, rust in the corners of the transformer. But the chassis, you know, is not bad. Ooh, that sticker just fell off. I'll have to re-glue that so that it's just a little adjustment sticker for the presets. Okay, let's just flip it up. Okay. Well, it's obviously had some filter capacitors done. Look at that sloppy solder. I don't know, it shouldn't take long to just get it working, which is all I want to do anyways, just get it working. Got capacitor down there, lots of spider webs. Big old box capacitor, that must be the original. Yeah, okay. Okay, here's just a better view of it. I have it propped up on a block of wood. So we got the cathode bypass capacitor for the audio output tube. We got, you know, replacement filter, original filter in the box. Look at that. 2 8s at 450 volts. So that's going to be easy. Ooh. Wait a minute. That's not even this box isn't the original. Because look at that. So it must have had a capacitor mounted in this bracket that was replaced with this and this and this. What a bodge job. Oh well, I'm not exactly going to make it any better. I'm just going to make the botch job more modern. Yeah. I hate how they mount the rectifier tube socket under the coils. You know, because a lot of times the 5Y4 will go bad, and I do not have any 5Y4s. So I will rewire these so that you can put in a 5Y3. But with this, you can't do that unless you really want to put in the effort to unsolder and move all this stuff out of the way, which is stupid. Anyway, got some funky looking capacitors there. Never seen ones like that. I'm just going to put some, just going to replace these 3 first, and then we'll power it up. Okay, I have replaced the 3 filter capacitors. I actually decided to mount a terminal strip because that was just kind of the easiest option. Because I just removed that bracket that was there, and I used the same bolt to mount that terminal strip because there was already a nice hole and a bolt there. So there it is. I used the same exact spots that they did. I'm not even going to bother putting tape on that. I did put tape on this one because it's close to the edge. And I'm just going to leave this loose. I'm going to replace it eventually. And I did find, I didn't want to pull the speaker out because I'm being lazy here. So I just found that I had a very similar speaker in my junk collection. So there it is. I'm going to test it with that. My plan is just to measure the voltage across these capacitors, and any ones that have high voltage across them I'll replace, and then that's it. So I'm just going to see if it works now. Okay, alright. I have got it plugged into the Variac and it's turned on, so I'm just going to bring it up. I already see light coming from the light bulb. Might want to measure some voltage just to make sure. There we go. And we're getting nothing. That makes sense because we're only at 40 volts. So we will bring it to 60. Still not getting anything. Double check the connections. No, still not getting anything. Let's just check it here. Nothing. 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 All nothing. Complete nothing on that. So wonder if the speaker could be wired wrong. It looks like the exact same speaker, but the plug might be wired differently. I'm not sure. We'll just keep... Oh! No wonder it's not working. I'm being a complete idiot. It's because I pulled the rectifier tube out so that I wouldn't break it by flipping the chassis over. Duh. Okay, after fixing my complete stupidity, it is working.
Surveillance video. You're preparing.
So, what are we going to do now? Well, the filter capacitors are replaced, but there is a cathode bypass capacitor needs to be replaced. Actually, I don't know. It only has 13 volts across it, so I don't even know if I should replace it. The chances that it ever shorts out are basically zero. I might actually leave it. There's this capacitor, though, has about 75 volts across it. That needs to go. Those two there are good. They're just in the volume control tone circuit. Those are good. That square thing there is the grid coupling capacitor. That is good. I don't know what that is. Is that a paper capacitor? I can't tell at all, but it is not leaking voltage through it. This one here is the plate to screen grid capacitor. It's only has 8 volts across it, so that thing is fine because it's floated up at the high voltage, but the actual potential across it is very low, so I'm going to leave that in there. And these other ones are just low voltage capacitors, so I'm just going to replace, I guess I'll replace the grid coupling capacitor just, just in case it ever shorts out. And that brown cylinder one there is definitely going to go. There's actually not much in here, it's pretty, not too many capacitors that need to be replaced, which is a good thing. Okay, so there it is. The final 2 capacitors have been replaced. The rest I'm going to leave because they are fine. They have low voltage on them. It's just the main ones had to be replaced. And of course, this big brick here was completely dead. This is the grid coupling capacitor. I have no clue. This could either be a mica or a paper, and I just don't know. So I replaced it anyway. So I guess I'll just put it back together now. I also cleaned up the switches a bit, put some oil in them because they were really sticky and not working properly, and you see now it's working smoothly. Here it is, all done. The finish is pretty good on this one. And put it back together. Of course, the buttons weren't lining up because of this sagging, rotten plastic. So what it is, I just loosened the screws and moved it down a bit and then put the screws back in. It's a cheap gag, but it works, and it's much better than having the buttons not work. They're still a little tight because this plastic is just so sagging and rotten. But anyway, it works.
Along the North Shore Mountains extend.
Sitting 4-3. With their advantage in loss.
Ooh, the iTube's actually working. Funny thing is, it's not working now. What the hell? Alright, I'm getting annoyed. Okay, so you saw the radio's working, it suddenly died, so I had to take it all apart. Sheesh. But I think I found the problem. So there's this crusty old blue sand resistor. Yes, that's what they call those, because they have this sandy texture. Anyway, on one side we have 271 volts. And on the other side, going to the third filter capacitor, 0. So, I think we know what failed. that stupid sand ohm resistor, which is looks baked and falling apart. I might actually have to look up the schematic now so I can find out what that value was. Okay, there it is. I just grabbed some junk out of a TV, stuck them in there. Should work great. Here's the old one. You can see what happens is the layer of sand falls off, and then right under that there are the actual wires. The actual wire wound resistor, and that corrodes or just breaks. So yeah, that's what happens to these stupid things. Okay, let's try that again. Powering up the radio, take 2. I put a new light bulb in, I replaced the resistor. Better work now.
One of my real good friends. What's happening, little bro? Now it's time to get one of your own.
So the system is beginning to be.
Vancouver and North.
Gained all the yards. What a red flag in that statement.
That. The Portman is increased. Rest of the Fraser Valley is looking good as well.
And I think Shane Goldman for the Athletic. So it's
1051 from the City News 1130 Traffic Center.
Market news that expands your world.
是遥远的南方小。
That's funny, some of these buttons still line up, and they haven't been adjusted in a long time. Some of them still line up, but that's funny.
The thing that's important to understand here is
From Canada's sports leader.
George Boulevard also has some lane closures in effect.
So, there we go. It's finally working. Or actually, it didn't take long. It only took a few hours to get it working. It's just that annoying resistor burning out was kind of threw me off there. Oh yeah. Vacuum bulbs glowing. There we go. The only thing I didn't do was clean off the rusty, encrusted with dead spiders speaker, you know, but whatever. It's fine.
Is often difficult because they're long gone, but
The freezer.
and the Patolo Bridge is closed for the entire.
But if JT Comfer wants to get.
Well, there you go. It's done.